Hey.
That was weird. It's like it wouldn't let me play the music with with us on it. So maybe I pressed the wrong button or something. But welcome everybody. Welcome Artex.
Screen was black. I was like, what's going on? Did he shut it off?
Yeah, the normal for everybody who's never been here before, the normal way we do is put a song on because I love music. Music and comics has been my jam forever. And then we get into it. So yeah.
Yeah, that goes with the art. Sound, music, pictures. And your own narration through your own brain.
That's it. It's like, music inspires so much creativity in artists like us, right? And writers, whatever.
The frequencies of feeling, it changes. You feel it.
Yeah.
That's you there. You know what I'm saying?
I was listening to Creed this morning, like while I'm doing dishes, right? So I did a clip of me, like going, "This is like." So I was listening to My Sacrifice. So I'm doing dishes, and then it hits, and I'm going, that'll make a great video. So I do a little short clip of that, right? It's just like do this little silly little thing of it, and I was thinking like that's how music plays a lot of huge part in our life as as creators.
Yeah.
And it,
Just like
why not have that part of the part of the stream, right?
right. Everybody hears that that shit and they think Thor.
Yeah, this one here, right?
That's what happens out of nowhere. That's how you watch it.
Yeah, like,
That's the only way you can watch it. It's rock out time. You gotta rock
yeah,
out.
I'm like, when we're just chilling in between creating, you're doing dishes. Like this morning, I went and put on clothes like in the washer, right?
Yeah.
Came back, put the rubbish out, did dishes, and then I'm like, it's so quiet. Let's put on some music. I'm like, Creed. Let's listen to Creed today.
There's no zen to that trickling water. It's like, oh my God, it's going in my head. I need something louder. Stop watching them dishes.
That's it.
Sometimes the thoughts is too loud.
I used to put myself to sleep as a kid, like in my teens, with music. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd be like having insomnia, really terrible insomnia. The music had to be there. Otherwise, I'd just be up night thinking, oh, my life. Oh, depression. Oh, what did they, and like, would not be able to go to sleep. And then put on some Megadeth, put on some Iron Maiden, and, not that the music was bad. It just chilled me out.
I like listening to like physics and scientific proven stuff, and
Right.
and I just go to sleep and they just talk away while they're in the cosmos talking about how we became. I like that. It's like a lullaby.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's to calm the beast, right? They say like it's there to calm the beast, and
Right.
I think a lot of people don't realize that what an important part music plays in our lives. It's like a rhythm, it's heartbeat, and it helps us to chill. Like some of the most beautiful music is music about love, right? And that'll never ever go out of fashion, right? You can.
I'll ask you a question. What do you feel is the bringing of the symphonies and music that has violins and pianos and wind instruments, string instruments, right? Back in the day, you would see it as classical and stuff like that. Isn't it like in like heavy metal and death metal is complete opposite?
Yeah, it is. I love it. You're right. I love it in metal because it's just another thing. There's some beautiful.
It's like death metal is like caveman, and classical is modern, right?
Yeah, it's the way it's because it's about symphony, right? Black metal is. I'm not into black metal because I just don't like the screaming and stuff. It just doesn't. I need to hear the words, man.
Yeah, yeah. But there's thrashers and there's black metal that you can understand what they got a topic. They put you on. They tell you what it's about in the title, and you'll eventually break out and listen to a word. You go, oh, okay, now I know what he's saying, and then you can follow through.
Exactly.
That's just straight up screaming. Yeah, right. It's cool, but stop. Now you're gonna go to the melody that's hard to keep up because it doesn't have a melody. It has a repetitious arpeggio that's going over and 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 over with a big mess of freaking drums. You don't feel it. You don't feel it. You got to have that rhythm going. If you don't have that rhythm, you won't get that hair raise. You know what I'm saying? So it's usually a vocal sound or a tuning that just grasps you.
Yeah, music. Like, a lot of people who are outside of metal, right, don't understand metal because they don't understand that there is actual musical theory behind the way it's played. And like I said, I don't like that just a screaming. No, you can't hear the lyrics. I don't care if it's screaming as long as I can hear the lyrics because then I can make it out. And I always used to love it back in the day, right? Buying cassettes and albums, you get the lyrics with it. I'll seek out albums that had the lyrics so I could like sing along with it. Because in my teens, right, in my late teens, about 18 to 20, 21, I used to be in a punk metal band, and so the way I would train my vocals was like screaming what I was listening to just before, outshined by Soundgarden, Rusty Cage, Jesus Christ Pose, and I'd be screaming that out at the top of my lungs to get my vocals to be able to hit the notes high, and then I'll go and do punk.
Yeah. It's a study. You got to learn what it is that's making it sound that way more than you're trying to sound like that. Trying to sound like that is going to be painful until you build how to make that sound. When you learn how to make that sound, you won't have to frustrate yourself and blow larynx. You know what I mean? But usually it's not about the lyrics more than the vocal sound. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I say something in a whole different language and said it so nicely that you remembered it to the point where you're like, wow, I like the way that was said, even though I don't know what they said. Just like what's this the 99 Balloons, that song.
Yeah, I love that. And this is the thing, like, people think that if you're a metalhead, that's all you listen to. Dude, I used to hang, my favorite song when I was with my girlfriend was Sade's No Ordinary Love. She was Taiwanese, and I love the Taiwanese people. And here's me, an Indian, and there is the difference between us as teenagers. I'm Indian, and she's Taiwanese, Chinese, right? I wouldn't even say Chinese, just Taiwanese, right? That's their own people, right? That's and there was a movie that came out at that time, and you're talking about Brooklyn, right? Before we were talking about Nobi just showed up to say hello before we picked up within a couple of days. But I didn't even know you were from Brooklyn, New York, right? And so there was this Italian crossover Romeo and Juliet movie that came out when I was with my girlfriend back in like late 80s. It was kind of like mid 80s. I can't remember what it's called, but the girl was Asian, like Chinese, and the guy was not Irish. Maybe he was Irish, Italian. He was Italian, right? So beautiful, beautiful story, modern day interpretation of these two gangs and two families, two ethnic groups. And it was just lovely. And I was like, yeah, man, this is just like us. This is, my girlfriend, Iching, and me.
That's a typical style of story, just like The Outsiders, A Bronx Tale.
Yeah, S.E. Hinton, right? S.E. Hinton, Outsiders, Rumblefish. Yeah, I think it was S.E. Hinton. So for those of you guys who don't know, at high school, we had to read S.E. Hinton and Outsiders and Rumblefish books. And I used to love that. Yeah. And that's how I learned a lot about the gang culture around America. Right. And so this was part of our school learning here. Like in fifth form, you have to go read a S.E. Hinton book. I think it was Rumblefish was the one. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few of them because everybody took that topic. They love that style, of like the different cultures falling in love and they all against each other and they make it happen. That's that tragic and happy ending.
Well, I mean, that's what's unique about my family, right? My mom's, my stepfather's English, from mother England, right? A Pommy. That's why you call them Poms. Pride of Mother England, right? Pome. And my mom got married to him around about 1980, and that meant that I came to New Zealand. I mean, she came to New Zealand for a year, settled down, got court married here. She got Fiji married, the Hindu cultural marriage that you have, ritualistic marriage that you have in Fiji. My dad was very connected to our family, and he's been so connected to our family in the culture that way very much. Me not so, but my youngest brother David, who's over in Aussie, with his family, right?
His name is
he's more Indian connected than we are. My other sister. Sorry.
You said his name was Ozzy?
No, his name is David.
Oh, I heard you say Aussie. I heard.
Oh no, he's Australia. He's over in Australia.
Aussie.
Aussie.
Oh, okay.
So David's like the youngest, but he's more in connection with our Indian Hindu culture than I am, because I came over here about 1981, going on 1981, right? So I hardly speak the language. The only time I do is when I'm around, when my own family's speaking to me, or if mom's speaking to me, or if we need to say something in public, which is private for us to talk in, right? So that we don't offend anybody.
You gotta speak what they understand.
Yeah, and then most of the time I don't speak in our language, because around people who don't speak our language, because I find that they might think it's rude, and I don't want to be seen as rude.
That's the thing.
You know?
That's the people full of themselves. People like, if I'm talking in another language, why would it pertain to you? I understand we are both in the same room, but if we weren't speaking, or if I do know you or I don't know you, you would understand that I'm not talking about you. So why are you listening to something that has nothing to do with you?
Yeah, and I think a lot of ways people get offended if you're speaking that, you know, because they think you are speaking about them.
Why do they
And
need to know what you're saying? You're not talking to them. Only when you're directly talking to them and you tell them in your language, of course they're going to feel offended. They're going to be like, did you just say something bad to me? I don't get it. Are you angry? Because different languages you approach you in a different manner. You know what I mean? Like Japanese people, when they speak, they sound like what the hell? Well, I'm sorry, what did I do? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they sound really rough, right? And I love that. Like, there was like, actually, I'll find this video, but like, have you got some art to show? Because we basically this is the art stream for for us today, because I'm going to work on some for our Kickstarter thing. Had like a 5-hour meeting yesterday morning, man. Then I slept from like 4 o'clock till about 9:30 this morning, because the day before I had no sleep, and so I was like just had like one meal and I was out. Woke up 6 hours later or something, and I went watch a bit of South Park and fell asleep again. Next thing, and I wake up again. It's 9:30 in the morning the next day. Insomnia, man, it's crazy, because I'm working with you over in Brooklyn. I'm working with Iwa Kim, who's a great artist for Fantastical Romy over in Sweden, right? I'm working with one of our artists who's over in Italy, right? And I've got another one who's in Brazil. So my time clock is all over the place,
Nationwide. Robot Nation, get it? It's different parts of the world.
Yeah, and that's just on this book, because I've got artists who's done covers like yourself, and we've got artists.
That's a sign, man. You know what I'm saying? See that in a different horizon. Look at it in a different manner. You getting connections, and that's amazing. So word of mouth is powerful when it comes to comics. You know what I mean? And music, music too.
Yeah, man.
So
I think I've been thinking about this, right? Like, I mean, imagine like if I had started, back in 2007 when I got into when I was doing a cooking show on YouTube, right? And I hadn't been through all the hell that I had been through for that time till about 2014, whatever, car accidents, friggin', all this stuff, divorce, separation, stress, all that other stuff that happened.
All the yucky stuff.
Yeah, and I'd be like 100,000 followers, probably one, because I don't see myself as something of import. But I love the artwork my guys are doing that are so important to me, like this Francisco from issue 2, right? So one of the things is like with Robot Nation, right? You can actually get the black and white right now from our website and check it out and see if it's any value to you as a comic book, as a collector, as a reader, because that way you can figure out for yourself whether you will go and support our Kickstarter, right? Because our Kickstarter is 44 pages, not 36 that the digital is. And not only that, it's full color, colored by Artex right here on the screen, right, Edward? And, and this is a book that we've been working on getting out for ages, but we had a colorist decide he's not going to color anymore with us, and so had to find someone, and then had reached out to Greg Harms, who's an amazing artist in his own right, and colorist in his own right, and he said, hey, Edwin, give this guy a think, have a chat to him, see what you reckon, and so we've got Edwin come on and do a coloring. So what I'm going to do is, the link's in the chat for that. You can grab it right now and go check it out. There's samples of the work there. I always like to show people what we're doing, that real human beings are creating real art. Very talented people are doing really talented work, right? This is a Not Safe for Work cover that we're going to do for Kickstarter. This is a are you going to pop up? This is a retailer only support that we're going to put out just to retailers. However, if you support our all in, and I'm working through the Kickstarter, language, whatever you want to call it, images and renaming of stuff. So the all in one, right? And I'm still editing this, and so the all in will give you everything, subjugate the machines, right? Even the the one that we're doing for the limited edition retailer only incentive, you'll get that for the all in. Now this is all in New Zealand dollars. Got to work everything out. Yesterday was a meeting about what we're going to put out, what we aren't, because a lot of things we had like something like about A to Z covers. So we had 26 covers come up for this friggin' because people are so good to us, right? You know, it just got to a point where it's like, I really can't go overboard on this because people will be overwhelmed, and you'd be like $1,000 for all in, and I'm like, yeah, no. So what I decided to do, some things will be cards of the images we came in, something will be posters, and some things will be like what is it called? Like stretch goals. So like it'll unlock a stretch goal, and you could buy that cover. So we got some amazing covers, artwork that's come from from Edwin that we're including, like this beautiful piece of work here, right? This amazing little cover that we've got. There was about 3 variants of this that came through, and we're going to do not going to do full foil. We're going to do a chrome of that. So if you don't know what a chrome cover is, I want to show you my beloved John Stinson Evangeline chrome cover, right? Wraparound, and this is what that cover was going to. This cover here is going to look like. So I'm going to show it to you what you would get if you supported that one. So check this out. Look at that. This is what that cover is going to look like, and I it's like Edwin did a really awesome cover, and his cover is going to look like this when it comes down to it. It's quite thin. It's plastic, right? And silver on the inside. I don't know what they do these days, but this is about 30 years old. Look at how well it's been, still like, everything, how quality it is. That's why I don't want to go foil with the wraparound with this one, with your work. Because I thought, like, if you look at it, I mean, look at that glass friggin' look on this beautiful cover. And your cover is going to be that, wraparound, nice. Beautiful looking. And the other thing is we've got Spy. Art Victim we've got his cover that's going to be on there as well. Waiting for the final artwork, but I've got something here we can show you of that. And his, let me finish off and get out of that screen before I ruin it. So, we've got Artex not Artex, sorry, Art Victim is doing some awesome work for us, and he's doing a wraparound, and we're going to maybe look at doing some pinups of it or cards for a set. And I'll show you the sketch ones that he sent, because to be honest, like, I'm so humbled, right? And I don't really often say that, but I'm really humbled by all the free work and all the support we've gotten by our friends in the indie comics industry. And I'm not going to say YouTubers, because I know a lot of them aren't YouTubers, but some of them are, right? But a lot of this has come by just being on here, being just welcoming people to my little world, right, in New Zealand, and here in Whangarei, and getting on here and telling people about my little, what we do here in Whangarei, music-wise, creatively, what we do as a artist community. We help each other all the time. Like right now, there's an event going on where one of my friends has got his, he's doing a painted guitar thing, and he's taking that because it's a community thing. You just go and put a piece in to just help it look better, to have more events and more things there, and I think that's sort of like community is something I'm happy, love being part of, is that we actually help each other, we promote each other, we try to even though you're creating, maybe even if you're doing the same freaking book as me, doesn't matter, because what you're doing is always going to be different from what I'm doing, because I have a different voice to what you have. And that's what I love about the whole indie scene, is because everybody has their own background, their own skill, their own learning. Then when they come to the comics, they bring their own voice to it. And I think, everybody's complaining about, oh, this is happening in the mainstream and they're doing this and they're doing this. But they never look at the indies. They never go, hey, what's happening in the independents? Because they don't actually really care about comics. Because if you really cared about comics, you go check out everything else to do with comics, right? And you might find something that you like. You won't find everything that you're looking for in the mainstream, but you'll find something that's that's interesting to what you're into. But it might cost a bit more because those creators like ourselves, we're only putting out like say 100 books at a time. We don't have $100,000 books amount of stuff we can put out because we don't have $1 billion industry behind us backing out products. So the best we can do is basically support each other, and that's what I love about what we're doing with this book.
Definitely.
Because the first sorry we're going around, but the first person that actually handed me some work was Christian Zaffo, right? The dude just basically said, hey, I'd like to do something for you, and he sends me a pin-up, and I go, you know what, I'd love to color this and now put it part of my book. So now his little pin-up is basically part of our Robot Nation universe. Now he's part of the friggin' book. Now he's part of the story, and so yeah, I just think we have such a great community that we're growing, right? I'm just only been in this for like maybe a year now, right? But I love it. So you were saying, Edwin?
Yeah, this it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like, if you're an artist, right, and there's no one's funding you, and I'm sure I can put out thousands of pictures if you let me. You know what I mean? But you end up wasting your talent because you're like, okay, I'm making a whole bunch of things that no one is caring about because there's no funding to it. You know what I mean? But everybody has a style. Everybody has a voice. So we can actually help each other. If you're into this genre, stick to the genre that you love and make it build something, because a lot of people are all behind that they want to be the overlord of everything. And it messes it up. It messes it up for a lot of comic book industries. Like, well, McFarlane, that little trick he pulled, that was a big editing scheme, which was terrible. You know what I mean? He had all these people thinking that they were going to win a prize or whatever, and being the cover artist for the Gunslinger and Spawn and the Villain and different covers, and he picked an AI artist as a winner, and he was like, "Oh, no AI drawings or whatever." And come on, then he just hid. He didn't say nothing about it. I don't know, no update on that, but that was messed up.
I mean, that really, for me, like as someone watching it, I don't want to bag on McFarlane because I've got all these toys here. I've got Slate, I've got Spawn figures, I've got, so, but I think it's just, it does like sort of it does push the narrative that it's okay to do AI art. And when you've spent 20 years, I don't know how long you've been doing, art. I've been doing art since I was like maybe
Since I could pick up
like primary school, man. Like,
So when I knew I had a hand and I could pick up a pencil and make a mark on the paper, that's when I started drawing. Like it came with me. You know what I mean? Wherever I was at, I brought some knowledge with my own. People say, you was born with the talent. Yeah, whatever. I think if you can develop talent, you know what I mean? Some people are early, some people are late. Some people just don't care.
And like for me, like the most important piece of artwork that I can remember that I was my teacher, right? My art teacher at primary school. I don't know what year, like we call it Form 1, so it's like a year 1 or something. I don't know, or I don't know what it is, what year that is, but like maybe I'm right about 11 or 12, right? And Halley's Comet was in the sky that time, and we had to do our own interpretation with using pastels, right? And that's all I always go to. That's why I go to primary school. But before that, like, I remember when, then I went to like I went to a Catholic boarding school, and we used to be able to like draw on a piece of wood with pencil and then poker work it, that using a burning tool. What is that called, man? What do you guys call it in America? We call it poker work in New Zealand.
What does it do?
Well, it's got a little coil on it, metal coil, and it's stuck to a electric power. And
Oh, okay. It's like a little heating stencil, like a stencil cutter. But it
Well, you
burns.
could call it a stencil cutter, but it's like you use it on wood to just burn the pattern onto the wood.
Yeah. It's a stencil, so it's a burning stencil cutter. I don't know the real word to it.
Yeah, but we used to call it poker work, and this is what as kids, remember that like monster trucks used to be in would have flat tires and all that would be the big thing in the 80s, and that's what, and we draw that, and that's and mess around with that, but I think for those of us who are what I'll call creatives, right? Who are artists, who do music, who do writing, who do poetry, comedy, who create, right? There's a concept that people think everything when you're a creator, it's done really fast. It's not. There's a skill to it. It takes time. You learn how to work it. And I think that the voice out here in the YouTube stream is that everything. Why can't you do a page a day? Why isn't it like you go to work and you come home and you do a page and you go to work and come home and you do a page? It's not like working. And I think a lot of people forget that creating isn't like doing a manual labor. You don't clock in and clock out.
Yeah, that's the thing. If you have a passion for something, stick to it. But if you end up having to get a job, and it takes away from your actual talent that you want to do, because you're not getting funded for it. You know what I mean? But it happens, man. Sometimes you do, and sometimes you don't get that. That way of living where you're gonna go, okay, I don't have to work for a whole entire month, so I'm gonna stick to my book project and go back to work after. Nobody has that luxury. You know what I mean?
I love this, man. I love this colors you put on this one here.
Yeah, it made it pop, right? It looks like
the difference between the two, right?
Yes. Like a Saturday morning cartoon. Look at his face, how he popped.
Yeah. Because this part here, this middle panel, that's her looking. I think it's Suman's her name. Oh, yeah, and I'm looking through her visor, like the helmet she's got on, and she's looking at the computer screen on there. And then you got the widescreen looking at this friggin' sterile container type setting inside like a commune type setting for a sci-fi colony, like on Venus. So I love the difference in this, man. Like just that it pops the different colors there.
Yeah, show them the black and white so you can see the differences and the changes that were made. And how it changes the straight up ink to the color.
Yeah. And it's just like, and the other thing, same thing here, right? It's just like the tone because it's in Venus and you're seeing from the outside the color stuff. And I love, this was really cool. I've always wanted to do cryo sleep, like cryo capsules and stuff. And when I was writing this, I was imagining aliens. That's the first time I ever saw it when I was a kid, about 82 or 83. And remember being up at 11 o'clock at night at boarding school and being allowed to watch Alien, right? At about 12 or 13 years old or something like I can't remember what. Hold on. 81, I would have been 8. 82 would have been 9. 83. Yeah, 10 years old. Probably about 10 years old watching Alien, hold it up with all the other Form 1s, we call it. So about 10-year-olds watching horror, right? When we're not supposed to. I mean, not that we're not supposed to, but if I was at home, I'd be asleep because 9:30 was bedtime for us. But here at Catholic boarding school, we're allowed to go and huddle up and watch horror at 11 o'clock at night.
That's so awesome. That's awesome.
So I really loved this panel because it's the first time you see her in the capsule and it's just in cryogenic sleep, and he puts her in there and goes to setting everybody else up. That's a story here about that. Talking to his parents, and whatever, these people here. And
you notice the screen looks like a TV screen he's looking at. I try to differentiate the difference between the comic book coloring and the Technicolor of their TV. You know what I mean? So you see the grain on it.
It's cool, man. This is the thing, like it's like there's a lot of thought goes into creating comic books that people don't understand or don't like when you're just watching. It's like, oh yeah, flip through it. I tend to, because I'm a I'm a writer's writer kind of thing, right? So I'll follow writers rather than the art. But if the art is bad, I won't even bother with the comic book. But if the
Right.
art is good, I will go to read that, even if the if the writing's not that good. But like, a lot of times I'm buying it because I love the writer and I like, I understand who they are. Like I'll get an Alan Moore book, I'll get a Frank Miller book, I'll get a what's his name,
Amazing.
Garth Ennis, right? I must get a Garth Ennis book, right? Because I know that Garth is when he writes war stories and soldier type stories, vigilante type stories, he knows what he's doing.
Definitely.
So the other thing we've got going on is this is the other story for this, which is Robot Nation, which is a 12-page one, if I remember right, on Earth. So you can see the difference between the two, right? You got one in space and you've got one on Earth, and I love the color differences in color choosing that you've done here, Edwin.
Yes.
Man, I like so much going on in this one panel, right? So much going on in this one panel.
To it. The thing is that the inking style with all the black makes colors pop, and the word bubbles are gonna be clear, like they're gonna be white. So that gives full contrast to the page level, from blacks, whites to colors. You know what I mean? So sometimes when you see a colored page without writing in it, something looks wrong because the word bubbles are not there. The page is made to be a comic book page. You know what I mean? Compared to an actual painting of a one-page picture, you know what I mean? Where it would be less bubbles, maybe like a kapow somewhere or an explosion sound. But word bubbles is the clear parts of the art, and there's a lot of areas where you can put them. So it'll make this page pop really, really well, because you could just put where there is no picture, you could put the word bubbles. You have areas that are empty. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which will
that's one thing I really plan out, and I hate seeing word bubbles by like people who don't know what they're doing with word bubbles ruin amazing artwork. Really ruin it. And like I'll show you this. I'm just opening up the page with the word bubbles on it. Just give me 1 second. I'll show you, because it's just something that I'm very, it's my thing, right? You know how people are anal about certain things, and we use that word anal like being rigid and puritanical. I'm like that when it comes to word bubbles on comic books, because I know for me, I'll take a couple hours for a page to get it right.
A picture's worth 1,000 words. That's what the quote is. But it has to be a compelling picture where it needs minimal words.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So you see, what you're saying about word bubbles, how I do it, right? So this is where I've done the word bubbles.
Yeah, you see, it doesn't distort the artwork. You know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You see the background, you see the characters, you see the actions, and you can read through it right across from left to right. That's how you're supposed to do it. Some people get lost. Throw it in a spot. They don't know on first, second, or third.
See, I've got this here because I don't know where how close to this will get cut off, because there's always like a 2 mil or 3 mil cut off, and I don't want to usually I'll go as close as I can to this, but I like to keep within this line. So you can see my lines here. These are my safety net lines to make sure that my text is within those lines. Yeah. So even here, right? So you can see here that I went on my way to make sure. Let me just bring this. There you go. There we go. So you can see what's where, right?
Yes.
I'm kind of bummed out because there's some light here that would look really cool. So I might have to actually break this when I do the final run, because I usually do a run, then I do a final run, and then do another run, a review run, and then now I'm ready for print. But the other thing about this comic is that we actually are going to do 2 more translations, so Portuguese and Spanish, right? Which is what's going on with this? Oh yeah, so this is my promo page. This is a promo page showing you the differences in the art, right, and the colors and stuff. So this is like the pencils, right? Then you've got the inks, and then you've got the colors, and it just shows you. I put this out as a promo to show people the stages in this.
Very attractive page.
Yeah. So what I was talking about, like, was this beautiful light here, right? But I'm gonna have to like break this up into two bubbles so that you can actually two narrative bubbles so you can actually see the light, because that's actually popping there really nice.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was doing that, and I'll show you live right now, because it's, so that I can let me see what, because I try to keep them all separate so I know where what I need to work with what. And by the way, this is Clip Studio Paint, one of the greatest,
Yes, I'm a fan. I use that on a constant basis.
Yeah. I've been using it for almost 15 plus years, because it's just such a good, so let me find out which one. Is it this one? Yeah. So if I'm, just a quick sort of, tutorial here. So if I'm doing this, I'm going to go pop this out. I'm using this on my like smaller screen, so it's going to look a bit messy or slower. If I was, let me see. So I will try to, this is why I like this program, right? Because especially for this.
What's the font you're using?
I am using CC Comic Crazy. I bought this like a decade ago or something. And this
is Comic Sans? Comic Sans?
No, it's its own thing.
Nice. I like it.
Because I like things to be, every sort of thing I use, I like it to be different from each other.
I like it. The lowercase letters, they look good, or everything has to be capital?
Oh, I think with this one, it can be lowercase as well. But I like doing capital here, right? So because then it stands out. It's not muddled. Sometimes it can get muddled if it's lowercase.
Of course. That's why people don't like the lowercase.
Yeah. So let me bring this here so that now we can actually have something. We're not hiding any really cool things, details, right?
Nah.
So
it works
like that. Let's go there. Let's go to New Zealand. Pop that down. So if you've never used Clip Studio Paint, man, this is why I swear by it, right? As far as I'm concerned, if somebody's, you got to say, well, do you stand by this project? Yeah, program. Yeah, I do.
I did a few changes lately. I got the updates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But, they really are making it really difficult to animate now. Before it was simple. Now they want a billion folders for everything.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. It took the fun out of it. They made it all technical. Before I could just layer an onion skin all day. Make a movement and design it, do the next page. Nah, man, that's just boring now. It's too long. They make you go, they force you to go through the steps. There's no shortcuts.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they're probably like most things, like they don't probably see comic creators as like getting interested in doing animation, so they want animators to be doing animation, right? No. And comic creators doing comics. But I mean, at the end of the day, however you want to use it, because everybody's always like, they're looking at making things better. And that's what I've liked about this, is they've always worked hard with creators, manga artists and stuff like that, to make things better. So, so that
they made it really, Clip Studio, they made it really simple to make an amazing comic book without knowing how to draw. Yeah. You don't need to know how to draw. Buy Clip Studio and go through all those little knick-knack paddywhacks that they give you to make a comic book. You can a whole full body and animate it and move it any which way you want, trace around it and say you drew it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, a lot of people like I personally like you know, I try to stay like with, because you guys are all talented, right? I'm going to stick with like, you know, artists and not try to like get 3D models and stuff, because why else would I, you know, would I go that route? I want to be able to, you know, have real artists doing real work. So there you go. Now you can see there's a bit of light there. I might actually pop this across, and this is how simple this is, right? Working with this software, and that way, this is what I mean. Like I don't. It's not final until it's ready for the printer, right? And I'm very pedantic, like I said, about this sort of stuff, because I want people to value the work. I want people to value the artists who are working with us on these works. I want to showcase their talent as best as I can, you know, with actually I realized that it's probably better the other way around. Was actually, yeah.
There's a new thing on the Clip Studios for comic books where you do the webtoons, the long page.
Yeah, I noticed something about that, right?
And
So but I haven't had a look.
but this is what I heard too, that it updates as soon as you work on your comic book. Let's say you have it, I guess it's on live on a constant basis somehow. And let's say if you already did a black and white piece and you're slowly coloring it, it'll update as soon as you save your production, you know, how you're going through it, and it'll update while it's on. I don't know. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm gonna see more information before anything. Yeah, Jazza, the on YouTube, that dude named Jazza with the blonde hair dude. Yeah, well, he does a lot of art YouTube shows. Art with Jazza.
Right,
Yeah,
never heard of story.
oh, he's amazing, man. He's a pretty cool dude. Yeah, he's got a good show going, and he does a lot of, you know, art. He uses the Clip Studios. He does different stuff like sculpting, and he teaches you how to do things, you know. And yeah, he had mentioned something about the Clip Studios having that update where you can do a web comic book, and you can slowly build it as you're going while it's uploading live.
Right.
So whoever likes your comic book, they'll see the comic book being made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you can start them off with the outline and then tell them, all right, this is the idea. You know what I mean? The comic book is going to be slowly being made, and there's going to be an update where you can go and check to see how far the book is going, you know? And maybe for a week, you know what I'm saying? And then cut it off. You don't want anybody to just get it all for free, but at least they can see a production happening.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I kind of like that. Like right now, like what you're doing, you can put it on record and get this all being.
Oh, I see what you mean. Right.
Like right now, you could just do it. Go and click record time lapse, and it'll show a page being moved around, writing and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's pretty cool. Because I mean, this is what I want people to see, right? How slow and tedious it can be, and not like how like everybody speeds it up so you can see it like really cool. I saw a really perfectly like a really good, you know, someone I respect do a drawing and speed it up, and I'm like, dude, that's what's making people think like art is creating comics is easy and simple. You know, like why isn't it being done in like, you know, why aren't you sitting at your thing and popping out a page a day, right? So because it takes a lot of time. You know?
Because I lost my Harry Potter one.
Yeah.
The only magic I have is my brain and my hands and whatever I can produce. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's you know, once you learn something and master it, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's all about the funding and the time consuming.
And that's the thing, right?
Right.
The only thing that stops us from like doing so many books because it's funding, right? If like seriously, if I had the money right now, there will be like about 30 books coming out from me right now.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
You know, because I'll show you what I mean by that. 30 books, right? So
30 stories. You got 30 stories? Let's go.
Yeah, so what's this? I want to show you something, right? I am going to show you my screen, and I'm going to show you how many stories are set up there in different stages of their, you know, of their time. So here's This is by year, right? This year, right, up to 2016, right? So let's just go and do 2023, right? So what I wanted last year to come out, we did first issue came out. We're doing second issue almost completed. The pencils and inks are already completed. Almost
Shit.
completed issue 2, right?
I-
Alienet Alliance, been working on that since like 2019, right? Got a couple pages to finish on that. We had artists involved and the artist dropped out. Then had another artist do a couple more pages and then need another page done, waiting for that. Fantastical Romy, that's working right now. First issue is being illustrated right now by Ewa Kim, right? Then you've also got, we've got a cartoon series, right? Like, sorry, a 3-panel series that's coming out. Got that. Robot Nation we're working on. Now, I'm going to pop through into the actual folder Robot Nation so I can show you how many stories I have lined up for this going out, right? The next issue will be Fang and Fur. And now all Robot Nations will be one-shot standalone type stories with a like a short story, as another extra for you. So it will be like a 90-page story or a 30-page story or 60-page or a 40-page story issue per issue, right? And then we'll put out a little short story as a backup on each comic book. So you can see here, right? King Planet is one of the stories. I Human is another story, right? Fast Steps, another story you're looking at. Out There, Pragbot, which was the original Robot Nation story written in about 2007, which is now called I remember yesterday it was called The Trench. It's here somewhere. It's like, let me bring it up. The Trenton Recovery Service, right? And that's the next story. The third story should have been the first, but it's the third story that we'll be putting out. So here's some like character designs I did for that, so that we can have everything set up. Right? Check this out. So I'm going to pop back out of this so you guys can see that we, if I had the money, we'd be getting artists involved and working on this right now, right?
Definitely.
So this is Lizzie, one of the characters, right? So you can see all the levels of the that I'm working on, how these characters will look, what levels, and these are examples for the artist to work off, to do his own free style around these characters. So I go, well, level 3 is like an exoskeleton. These are samples from the internet, by the way, guys. So I kind of like do collages of what I think would work for me. And then I go, now go do your human touch to this to make it become more real, to bring your own style to it. Here I'm saying, like, we got a human head on a robot body, right? Kind of what we think of like in the Ghost in the Shell, right, Edwin?
Yes.
And then designing the guns, based off a Nerf gun, and moving and cutting and pasting to what I want, so that when the artist draws it, and you want to cosplay it someday, maybe not, doesn't matter to me, right? But I would love for you to do it, right? I shouldn't say it doesn't matter to me. What I mean is, like, maybe right now it doesn't matter. Maybe someday it might matter. And so I go and get a actual real Nerf gun, and I play around with the parts to it, and I copy paste and I add more to it and say, this is what you could do if you wanted to cosplay it. So I even go to this deep into that, right? So I designed the guns even, right? So I'll give who these people will be, what do they look like. So you get to start. Anton Clack will be a black dude with a bald head. He's a level 4 body right below, which means he's got this sort of body on him. So that one, yes, that's a level 5. Sorry, there's a level 4 body somewhere here. Right, so different characters. They're part of the Bostra military retrievals personnel. So there's like a military retrievals. So I go deep into the Bible of this. Like, so now you go like, this is full on, right? Logo designs, what the characters will wear, how they wear, even to the point of what the guns that the bullets that we'll use, what they're called, right? What I want that character to look like. Jordan, what's Jordan's going to look like? Here's me, putting on a jacket that I own, and I go, it would be cool to have a jacket like that, and then have the logos of their uniform being like that. Awesome. The boots, the icons, the colors and stuff. So really going deep, because for me, this is real, right? it's real in my head, but I want, you know, people like you, Edwin, right? The creators, the creative side of this, the artist side of this, to be able to see what I'm looking at. And usually I get actors, right? Because these are public personalities. I don't get like, I try my darndest not to get like everyday folk images to use, right? Even though this guy's not going to look like this finally, but I'm giving it a square jaw because I don't know how to describe all that shit. You know, so it makes it easier when you have an artist to have all this stuff, right? And here's Armour, who's like the John Trenton's partner, right? So this is John, and then you got Armour, who's Asian, and so we've got like what her eyes, you know, cybernetic left eye. She's a military personnel, lost some parts of her body, so you know, you've got like what her dress is, what she's got parts of her is going to look like, what her clothing's going to look like, you know, and you know, at the end of the day, what her helmet's going to look like when she puts it on. So I go really deep into these character designs, so that it's like kind of like a Bible, whatever you want to call it, like character Bible. And so yeah, and this is like supposed to be for issue 1, but I realized that this book was getting way ahead of me. It got to about 60 pages, like shit. There's going to be another 30 pages, and I don't want the first book to be 90 pages because that means like it's more than, you know, it's going to be tough to try to get it done within a year, you know, or whatever. But yeah, book 3, 90 pages, so it end up being like a graphic novel almost, you know. What do you call it? Like
yeah. So this could be printed as well, right? Your entire layout and schematic plans.
Yeah. I mean, like you could do a little screenshot, you know, not screenshot, but little plans, you know, of it. I do that also, by the way, you know, for just talking, you know, just in that mind. I'll show you this other.
That can be a stretch goal magazine sorts.
More like extras, just like freebies or something like that. But like I'll show you this week.
The making of.
Yeah, making of, right? Yeah.
But
that's why I like.
Yeah,
that's why I like graphic novels, right?
Yeah, that works because they do it on DVDs.
You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's like public images. You don't really want to show, you know, like show people's faces. You know, if you're doing it that way. On here, it's fine.
Yeah. But that's you can that can be altered. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So, talking about that, right? Like the extra pages that we're putting as part of, you know, the 8 extra pages we're putting in. We've got some stuff like this in there as well. I'm not sure if I added this for the digital. It might be in there, but stuff like this, like, you know, looking at the script, you know, the actual breakdown of the script, right?
Love it.
What, and so people can realize, yeah. So newbies, people on YouTube who don't understand comic books, right, how it's created, can actually see how it all starts, right? So you got that page, you got this action-filled page, you know,
yeah,
and how the artist interprets the
panels. You know what I'm saying? Even in when you go to convention, there are all panels.
Yeah,
it's funny, right? How they use the word panels.
Yeah, so I get the, you know, I get the penciled, you know, roughs, whatever, you know, finals, and then I put the lettering on, and I go, okay, where, you know, is my bubbles?
Right, the who, what, when, way. That it's not easy, man. This is amazing, but you know what I like about it?
Look at the details, man.
Right, you know, isn't it fun when you put it together?
Yeah. I mean, Francisco, right? Our Italian artist, right?
Yeah.
He created all these individual robots, right? All these individual robots are his designs.
Nice. Love it.
This is why artists are so important, because he is bringing his own friggin' talent and skill to this, and taking what I do as a writer and my imagination as a writer, and bringing it to life, right? And then then you see then I send him back. Go, this is where it's all. So he knows where to really concentrate, but or how he's going to ink it and stuff. Make sure that everything's working for him. And this is the final inks for that. There's a page there. So look, so you look at, when you see this, you don't really see that much. You see details, but you don't see the shading and stuff and the inks paint. And then you look across and you go, wow, it's a pretty cool battle scene.
Yeah.
And then I hand it over to Edwin or whoever's coloring, right? And I go, now go color this, right? And then it comes back to me. Then I go re-letter it and get it right, make sure the letters are where they should be, and making sure that the art pops. The art is the most important thing. The letters let you know what's going on. The speech bubbles let you know what's going on, because But the other thing here is the art's also got to be work to the story, right? Because if you just see this, go, oh yeah, so he's hiding the car, but why, right? Well, what are they talking about here, right? What's everything's got to come together, mesh together as a perfect thing. So I like in this, if you think about it as a director, like movies, I'm the director here, right? As well as the writer, as well as a producer, and then the camera person is the artist, and the colorist are the camera people, right? Or even the costume people, right? Or also the prop people, right? Yeah. Is the artist, is the prop person, the camera person, the friggin' cinematographer, the colorist, kind of like colorist in the sense of like making sure that everything's where it should be. And it's, and then, the colorist comes along like Edwin on this book and makes it pop, makes it become this friggin' amazing CGI kind of, adding that special touch to it. And that's what I love about, this is why I like working with so many artists, man, because I get to see so much of your guys' skills, man.
Yeah, it's like a living version of the AI underneath your finger. Yeah.
Let me just check Skype. I think one of my artists has just texted through. Or is that for you? Are you on Skype or is it me? Oh no, it's me. All right. Oh, okay, cool. Perfect. Yep. Because I got some good news about another book that we're working on. Got that sorted now. We're a bit worried about that. Because for us, I'll show you this other book that we're working on that we've just sent out to everybody, right? Which was Robot Nation's made. That's the next book we're putting out. But like this Incredible got sent out to everybody. Right. This was my first Kickstarter that we actually, didn't reach the amount we wanted to reach for people to get funded, but it got printed. We had to add a couple more bucks to it, sadly, but it had to be done, right? We had to get to the people because they supported us. So Incredible #1's out, and for everybody that supported us on that, thank you so much, man. Really appreciate it. So Kevin Zimmerman's the artist on this. And we got issue 2 is almost done illustrating, and then that's going to go back over to the Rising Sun Comics page, which is, if you guys want to check it out, you can check it out here. I'll put in the link. You were saying something, Edwin?
No, I was watching the pages he was going through. They look cool. Let me see. Can you pass them back up? Look at that scene when they're flying.
All right. Hold on, let me pop it down here. Yeah.
Look how cool they look. Like, yeah, we're just talking here in the air. Chilling. Yeah. That looks amazing.
So you see this hand coming through his body?
I don't know. What is it? What he said? Oh, there is an arm coming out of. Yeah.
And then through the back as well.
Yes.
So if you just see it go, dude made a mistake, right? What he did something wrong. What is that? But that's a very important part of the story, right? And so without the story here, you don't know what's going on. Why the hell is her arm through his body, like, you know, through his back, through his chest?
The picture that caught my eye when you was going up and down on the pages. I was like, wait, what was that? Yeah.
Then you've got this one here, really cool, like a force field.
I got a keen eyesight for weird things going on. I was like, wait, I gotta see that again. What was that?
I really love the coloring on this book, man. It's just so cool.
Yeah, that's
one thing I really.
The backgrounds, I like the painterly and the color pencil style. It also gives it that ghost. What is the that ghost the TV animated cartoon from like the 70s. Space Ghost. Yeah.
Right.
It gives me that vibe. That back in the day style, the way they colored like the Conan covers. The Conan covers was dope.
Let me just send this. I've got what you call it? I've got Hawk on Skype, so see if because he's the one who sent out all the books to everybody for us, and like my artist was saying that like the guy who, you know, Kevin, who's the illustrator for this book, awesome, man. He was just saying that he got his one, and I'm going, I'm still waiting for my lot to arrive. You know, this is one of the. Sorry,
that's a different artist on the cover.
Yeah, this is like a variant cover. This is from one of my best friends, Shane Evans. You guys can check him out on Art of Evans.
I like his.
Yeah,
consistency in the style. I love it.
Yeah, so this is his work here. Right. Let me just pop that off. So this is.
See that? You go a little closer.
Let me take you off and let me see if it. There we go.
Oh yeah, that's on there. Oh, that's printed on
skateboard.
It's what?
This is a skateboard.
Yeah, I know that. But how? Oh, it's painted on the skateboard, or is it?
Yeah, it's it's a hand painted because he's a painter.
Oh, okay, so he did it straight up on there.
Yeah, nice. I'm thinking of like putting like a gloss over it because so it can protect the work because I don't want to get scratched or anything. But I'll have to ask his permission because I don't want to touch his work without But I might actually give it to him and go, here's a can of spray paint, a clear paint, and you could do it for me because I really don't want to retouch anybody's work. Oh, hey, Ross, if you're free, man, come jump on. I'll send you a link. Unless you're driving or something. Here's a link for it. Russ is an animator. We were talking about animator before, right? So there you go, Russ. Sorry, just saw it, man. If you're still around, apologies. Yeah. So Art of Evans. If you guys want to check it out, Instagram and Facebook.
This is amazing.
Yeah, he's also he's just put out his comic book, which is number 3 is about to come out, and this is it here. So, Chronicles of the Wasteland.
Oh, that's his art.
So
nice.
Yeah, that's his own comic book.
He has a noticeable style. I like it.
Exactly. And this is the one we just saw, right?
Yes.
So this is the web comic self-fund. So he's got issue 3 is about to go out. Has been printed, should be arriving soon, and it's based in the like what we call it, the Mad Max universe, right? So that's the Wasteland. So Mad Max universe Wasteland. So issue 3 should be coming out soon. It's already been printed. It's coming to him, and then he's gonna I always get two copies from him of each book because I just like to have 2 because he's my friend and I just bought him. But also I like him. I like his work. And so yeah, it's really cool having him as a friend, because it's just like I get to bounce stuff off him as well and figure out,
Right.
you know,
Awesome.
if
That's
everything
exactly
works or not.
the
Now,
connection. Yeah, that works very well. I just did 2 pieces for Greg Harms.
Right.
Yeah, last night, and they came out pretty cool. I'm about to send them to you so you can see them real quick.
Yeah, man. I love seeing the work because I've been, you know, been sharing Greg's work because he's awesome. I love his style.
Yeah, I just sent them to your messenger.
Right, let me make sure I'm on the right page here. Awesome. Are you allowed to show us? Share
Oh,
it?
yeah, definitely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, out there.
Okay,
You know
well,
what I'm saying?
if that's the case, then we'll probably just go and have a look at it. Just like that. There you go, folks.
That looks insane. Look at that hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna get the stuff off him like in time. All right, not right, you know, when he's done and ready, and once friggin' Robot Nation's over.
He
I want
hasn't
to get
seen it.
some work. He hasn't seen it.
No, he hasn't seen this yet. So this is first time on this show. Ooh. This is for the Mojo comic book. Hopefully he likes it and puts it in. This is another. I did an array of this style of the creepy. What is that? Creep show comic book style writing.
Right. This one here you talk about.
Yeah, it's a special. I did like at least 4 different covers. This was the last one that I made for him. I made it look like an old style horror comic.
Yeah.
Style, you know, you can do that to anybody's comic book. It doesn't have to mean that it's about horror. It just has that, you know, that horror cover, you know what I'm saying, that you can remember. But yeah, the Mojo, I did these covers here. He hasn't seen them yet. The other one could be just an interior for the names, you know, people who are going to be involved in the book or are involved. So you can write that over top. That can be just a promo page, depending on how he wants to use it. It could be inside the book or not. Yeah, like that. Those are the actual emerald tablets in the background. I used them, and I did a little changes to it, you know, not to like cause anything, because hey, you never know. This is real ancient tablets that I use for the background.
You don't know what they say, right?
Book.
And well, so this is one of your tablets for Robot Nation.
Yes, that'll look amazing with the foil. Oh man,
yeah. At the moment, I'm like thinking about like we, you know, like I said, like yesterday at a long meeting. Oh, sweet, excellent, dude. So yeah, at the moment we don't have like like I'll show you something, right? So because of the there's a big jump between this here for the Robot Nation. So between All In and the retailer, we don't have anything. So at the moment, I'm trying to figure out we should do like a trading card set. And so I'm looking at like a silver, a gold, a silver foil, a gold foil, and a color foil, right? Versions of art, and then like then a kind of like a 10-piece, 10 pieces, and so you get a random card in it. You don't know which one's going to be foil, or you don't know which one's going to be the gold or the platinum kind of thing, and you get 9 cards, and then you get one of those. And all that, basically, every time you print one of the cards, it's like you got to pay about $50 to get about 25 or something like that, or whatever the printing thing is. So the more you print, the more it's going to cost you for the, So if you want 10, that's about $500, right? If you're looking at a specialized to actually print, you got to have $500 before. So, and the reason I'm saying that is because a lot of people don't understand on Kickstarter. It's like if one person orders that, you got to go print all that shit. Right? If only one person orders it. So you got to be able to have money sitting in your pocket to be able to supply that one person. And so I think a lot of times people don't understand that side of doing Kickstarters.
Right.
So you can't print every single comic cover that you get, and you got to figure out what you got to work out. And
excuse me, a friend of mine went through that issue, and he had to do something which was a little, annoying to do, but he did it. He went on Amazon, and there's a book printing on demand
right.
thing where he had to put the comic books, schematics and the size in it, because they only had it for albums, picture albums, and the sizes were weird. So he had to manipulate the comic book to look like the specific sizes they were able to put out. You know what I mean? So it was a task, but it wasn't as much as buying a whole lot just because one person decided to open that tier. You know what I mean? So he found a way around it. You know what I mean? You got to get one of those print on demand things, but it won't be from the same company, because I'm sure you don't want to deal with. Right.
But the other thing there is, you don't know if it's going to arrive to them in a good condition that you as a creator would send it. And it's like a touch and go. So one of the things I'm doing for this is very, special for us, is that I'm going to be doing like a special signed numbered card printed here, hopefully here in New Zealand, because I'm thinking about maybe sending it directly to them in an envelope separate from the Kickstarter, right, as a thank you for everybody that does the pack, like the special packs, like all the 3 covers or all the foils and the and even the stores, right, if they support us. I'll send a numbered card as a one-off signed thing, as a thank you, directly from me, right, across the world. You'll get and I'm thinking, like, how do I work it? Do I go back and send it to the to Hawk, who's sending out all our comics together, or would it be better if I just get it printed here and I send it out direct to people, right, and mail it out to them as, like, because one of the cool things that not only will it just come from me, but it'll come with my signature and it'll be numbered, but it'll also have New Zealand stamp in there. And so that allows me to put little things from me directly in there, right?
Right.
Something like, say, I could maybe get, I don't know, do something myself here, get printed up and send something out directly for them for that. Like stuff like if I wanted to get like stickers done up, right? And be able to send out stickers directly to them. I think it's in the other thing. Let me just go find it. But do you want to talk about your process of coloring and stuff, man? While I'll take this off, so it'll put you on, get you to speak. What other like talk for a couple minutes, right?
Yeah, he said talk for a couple. Yeah, he put me on the spot. Oh yeah, the process of coloring. I just color as I feel the situation at hand is. Basically, you got to have some sort of knowledge and know how to color. I've started since I was like able to pick up a crayon. So once you know an array of colors, your color wheel, you know where to go with it. You got to study that color wheel. You don't know that color wheel, you're gonna end up putting colors that don't match up and don't blend into each other. You know what I mean? So basically, that's the thing. Learn your color wheel. The color wheel is where it's at. Yeah.
All right. you got put on the spot. You didn't know what to say. So stuff like this, right? Little chasquis, whatever you want to call them. Like I could put that with the card, and that would be the only people who get those, right? Little stuff like Incredible Girl sticker we got made up.
Nice.
Little red dots.
What are you using?
That's one of the other things, right?
How are you doing those?
I have a friend, like he was at his previously. Now I don't think he can now. Because he's a screen printer.
Okay.
When they get big orders, wherever there's like space left over for blanks, he'll just chuck in other stuff.
Nice.
To save, just because it's not a cost anymore. It's like the friggin', you end up like white.
They want to utilize the entire page.
Yeah. It's not a page. It's like a friggin' like 2-3 meters worth of stickers, you know,
Bro.
with a company logo on it.
Yeah.
And then there's a little corner with like this much left with nothing there. So I was like, oh, we'll just put a couple of things in there. So, but I did get some stuff done up and I paid for as well. And I had stickers like saying like parental warning, nerd, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, man, I got tons of things that could be made into stickers.
Yeah.
And if you let me know if you're willing to do that for me, I will send you some designs and payment.
Well, this is the thing. So like, I mean, like for us here, like, let me find the one. I had an art piece I was going to show, which is, where are you? Where I'm looking at doing stickers with your art on it. So there is there's a sticker to the tin heads is a like a add-on tier kind of thing. If you get a pack, we give it free. But like, where are you? Get this folder open, lists, promos, add-on. There we go. Five stickers. Where are you? 5 stickers. Here we go. So this is a sticker to the to tin heads. Add-on, and there you go. So this has got Soto, you know, Manuel's art and your colors. Then it's got your one as well, and then also you got that one there. So we got 3 of yours will become like you know, 3x5 stickers as part of the set.
Nice. You could also use the robots and the humans separate stickers.
Yeah, so it all depends on what we do with what, right? Because I want to make sure that we reach the goal, and then whatever's extra, you know, we can work like
I can design
stretch goals or something, you know.
I can design a sticker book page where you remember that's classic. Remember the sticker book?
Yeah.
You used to buy the stickers and you fill up the.
Oh, you mean? Hold on. You mean stuff like if I've got it here? I've got so much stuff, man, that I collect. Most of the time, I don't know what I've got where because I just bring it home and I just find some space and stick it there. But you know, there's the other thing is like, you know, there's this one here that we're giving away with free tiers, right? This little number. There's going to be like numbers and signs. This is the one we're talking about, right? Did you get a special little card, 5x7 card with artwork for the next comic book on it? So you get to see that, you know. But you know, you got stuff like this, foil, virgin foil, from G Spot, cover J. You know, you got the lingerie version, white, where you can draw your own robot in it or human or whatever you want to do. And you got the not safe for work chair, virgin cover, and then you got like the you know, foil cover and stuff, and of course your one here with the Portuguese.
Yeah.
Hey, oh, by the way, what nationality are you? And I'm only asking this because of language, right?
I'm Puerto Rican, from Brooklyn, New York.
Right. So where is
Rican and
Puerto Rico is like that island, right, off the coast of America?
Puerto
am I
Rico.
wrong? Yeah.
I didn't hear you. Sorry, I didn't hear you.
Oh, okay. Is Puerto Rico off the coast of America and is part of the American continent kind of thing, or is it its own thing?
Yeah, it is. It's part of the United States. They weren't. Right. They became it's an island.
So I was going to show you the sticker thing, but this is like an activity book instead. So let me see. So yes. This is so check this out. So there's like a activity book for kids, right? And right. You know, so you got stuff like this in it, and I love this, man. When I was a kid, I loved this. All right,
that was fun.
Yeah, and so Rising Sun Comics, right, does that. Right, and a lot of people don't know this because they're not aware of what Rising Sun Comics is, because they've been quite quiet because of you know, due to always say, actually, I've got the wrong one. Let me find it. Because of COVID, basically messed everything up for a lot of people, and a lot of people don't realize that, you know, the smaller companies had a really hard time doing as much. Not only just smaller companies, right? Actual pens down, right? They had a huge stuff like that as well. So, you know, if you're a parent, hop over to Rise and Sun Comics, man, and check out riseandsuncomics.com and check out their Armadillo Justice comic books, the Tall Tales. I think they're going to be at Joe Fest, right? Coming, there's a GI Joe convention coming up that they'll be at. I love that, by the way. I'm going to talk to you about that. So there's activities in this Tall Tales one, and so do check out and you know, the Armadillo Justice for Kids comic books, and of course our Incredible is going to be on the website soon for sale as well. I love that, by the way. Who's the creator? Like, what is that from? Which movie or which show?
I think that's Christian Bale.
The Bale. Is
what?
it a Bale one? Oh, it is. It is. It's what's his name? Not Bale. It's Affleck.
Yes. Ben Affleck. I got these goggles separately, and I figured that they would work well.
Right.
Gave them more life. It's the best. You have to hear the music. Goes back to the music. But yeah, you know how they do that in horror movies, and how they use the sound to represent a character. That's the same thing with Batman. Everybody knows that sound. You know what I mean? Once you hear those bits, you know that Batman. You hear the piano, you know that's Michael Myers. You hear that breathing sound.
It's a theme, right? It's a theme. It's a theme thing, and so
sound. You gotta grasp the viewer and the listener.
Yeah. you know when that dude's coming up, right?
Yeah, right.
So we as Kiwis, right? So we had some good news today come across on my Facebook, and I want to show you that. So Ant Sang, he's a really cool New Zealand cartoonist and artist, right? And his book Dharma Punks, which is here somewhere. Let me find it. Here it is. And not only that one, I have another one of his here somewhere. There it is. And is there another one? What else do I have of this? Oh no, I just have these ones. Okay. So Ant Sang is getting his Kiwi New Zealand book is being translated into French next month.
Nice.
Yeah. You know? And so he put that up, and I was like, congratulations, dude. That is awesome. So this is another book of his, right? Shaolin Burning, right? Of course, he's, you know, amongst the comic scene and artist scene, we know him for Dharma Punks and as an artist, right? But for New Zealand wide, international wide, he's known for Brotown, which is one of our most beloved teen.
Look at that. That's a big fat book.
Yeah. Well, hold on, bro. Hold on. I'm getting to that. So this is his own one with, like, you know, his work in that he put out a couple of years ago called Shaolin Burning, right? Let me get rid of that so you guys can see better. So yeah. So Justin's on. Hey, Justin, another New Zealand artist and comic creator. So Shaolin, you know, so I had these in come in to sell as part of my store. Now, I was lucky enough to get this at auction cheaper than retail, right? So this is one he worked on with the writer called Michael Bennett, right? So Helen Go-Go Annuals, Helen and the Go-Go Ninjas. So this is a color, right? Full color.
Love it.
And I'm hoping that this is the way I like the colors for our manga to look like, because we want to go color on our mangas. So yeah, this is the style I like to see in our manga. Yeah, so it's really good. You know, I haven't got around to reading it. I'm freaking annoyed that I haven't, because I've got so much work on my plate that I just buy stuff and put it on the shelf. Now we're talking about the French release, right? So I'm going to show you the French release, and then I'm going to tell you, because I used to have a comic store, right? And one of the things I did have is like a section for New Zealand comics, because, I love comics and I like to support our bros and our sisters, as we call them, right? So seeing this is really cool. So if you guys are over there in France, please support Anne Sang's book. Get out there, get a hardcover. However, way back about 2014 or something, right? I think it might have been earlier than maybe 2009. I'm not sure what year you put it out, but I had these for sale in my store, right? And then again, I had them for sale at our convention. And I have an original, with actual artwork by him on it. I'm not sure why it's going all blurry. Let me just bring this up here so you can see which one will do it. Here we go. Sorry. There we go. Fugazi and Black Flag. And for those of you guys don't know Black Flag and Fugazi, seriously, you need to go find that music and listen to it. So this is friggin' awesome. Look at that. Right? Real art, like actually drawn on there, right? On every individual one had drawn. Nice. And so this is how thick this book is, the collection.
Yeah. This is thick as a Bible.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, you're probably about right. Almost like, most Bibles are about this thick. But check this out. And this was printed in New Zealand, by the way, by our friend Adrian.
That's called a gatefold.
Yeah.
Yeah, gatefold covers. Love them.
Yeah, and because this book deserves that, right? And this is something I want to do with, like, later on when we go to trade paperback with all our Robot Nation stuff. We're gonna do that as well. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And not only that, but you gotta understand, neither does our boy Earth's End, right? Adrian Kennard. Right? Yeah. He doesn't mess around either. Now, if you want to know who Adrian Kennard is, grab this magazine, digital magazine called Sunspot. We'll get to it in one sec. Come here, buddy. Oh, pop back out. So I'll give you a link to that as well. This way you get to know who the publisher is, right? For Robot Nation. I mean, damn it, for Dharma Punk. Sorry, I've just got Robot Nation all over my head.
It is.
So I've been living in friggin', dreaming it and everything, I guess, for the last couple of months. So there's an interview with Adrian in this magazine about creating like his publishing house called Earth's End, which published this, right? And so let me see what if I've got like any little things in there. There we go. There it is. Right. So my friend Ayla did the interview. I did the arranging of this, and really cool little spot in there. It's $2.49 for 64-page digital magazine, including a 12-page comic book for all ages. Lots of really cool stuff in this, and there's the Shane's artworks in there as well.
Nice.
Just promoting New Zealand and indie comics, right? you get to find out how much what's where, and like 64 pages all up, including the cover, I guess. But yeah, a lot of stuff.
We were talking about that the last time, man. Remember the Wizard?
Yeah.
This is something similar to that, right?
Yeah. No, heavy metal, not Wizard. More heavy metal magazine, because that's where I was going for, heavy metal magazine.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the link's in the chat for that. But let's, but this is good news for New Zealand comics, right? Especially for Ant. Awesome news for Ant. Let me see if he's got. Yeah, check that out. Right.
Love it, man. That reminds me of New Manhattan. When I used to go to what's that place? Something Records. It's a famous area. They had closed it down, and they had like a book store, a book area. Old, you get regional music from different parts of the world.
Right.
Had like Virgin Records. Remember Virgin Records?
Yeah. Are you talking about like HMV or something like that?
Yeah, but this was called Virgin Records. And Tower Records. That's what it was called as well. There was two places.
Yeah, Tower. Didn't they make a movie about that?
Tower Records. You go there, and there's like different floors of different style of music, different style of magazines and books from different parts of the world. And they had areas where they had like stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That style with the punk, I'm telling history, music, and comic book style, heavy metal style magazines.
Mm.
But that hardcover book like that is amazing.
Oh, Empire Records. Could it be Empire Records?
I think it was Tower Records.
Right.
Yeah, Tower Records and Virgin.
Right.
Virgin Records. Those two places, they were like monumental. Then they shut them things down. They don't even exist anymore.
I'm just so excited for Ant-Man. Like, because I've interviewed Ant. By the way, I'll actually go find that link so I can show you guys. If you want to watch that interview later on. But Ant is an awesome guy. He's a great. He's a great. Actually, I might actually. I'll get the link, and then not only that, we'll put. I have a little like a little clip with him here, and I'll just grab that clip because I do this, words of wisdom thing. So let me grab the words of wisdom so you guys can see that.
Yeah, I reckon. I think maybe just don't be in a hurry. It's easy to look around and see everyone's success, especially on social media, and it's easy to get really jealous of what other people are doing and what you perceive their success to be. And it's like, I want to be successful too, and I want to be doing stuff, But I reckon don't be in too much of a rush to get to where you want to be, and even where you want to be isn't like a final destination. It's all just a long path and whatever journey you're taking. So I reckon don't be in a rush and just
we were just talking about this.
Stuff that interests you. And the more you do it, I've been doing this for, I think we figured about 3 decades now, or longer if you consider my childhood drawings, back when I was a kid. I've spent decades honing my craft, and it takes years to get good at anything. So I reckon look for influences, look at always improving your art, and just try and find contentment, I guess, or satisfaction in kind of what you're doing, and not looking too far ahead all the time.
So the link for the other one is actually in the chat, the full interview, right? And it's just like let me just pop that out. So Justin said, right, any success is a win for all of us working, right? And I think that's something that we Kiwis, and not everybody thinks that way. I kind of think that way because I think that if one of us is succeeding, we should be proud of that because that just highlights all of us, right? And working together is something that I think is what's going to like help us all. There are some so-called, people who are like out there for themselves, and I know a couple who are like that. And but for me, really,
been through it. You know what I'm saying? They've been through it. I've been through a lot of teams that have been trying to put a book out, and all of a sudden they go through some hardship, and then they end up breaking up, and you lose a team, and you got to start all over again. You know what I mean? Where it's a waste. So sometimes it's like sometimes you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. There was another quote that everybody goes by, but it also breaks. You know what I mean? But,
well,
to find a successful team, everybody has to be on the same page. Everybody has to understand that there is no money in this. You're not gonna be rich.
That's the thing I've been thinking about today, man. Comics, like
once you put your mind to it, and this group is thinking on the same levels, and you build from it, then you could get rich from it. You know what I mean? But if you're not gonna freaking put your all in, it's not gonna go nowhere. It really isn't.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna try to be a chief. There ain't gonna be no Indians, and everybody's gonna bump heads like always. Never fails. Never fails. And guess what? They'll use it as a tactic to say, "Oh, I used to work for this person and doing this job, and we decided to make our own thing, and now we got a whole new team." Come on, are they gonna get into that same game? Now they're addicted to making these little teams that go nowhere. You know what I mean? They do one book and call it, or have some sort of issue behind it on the reasons why they can't continue. Or they just have one person doing everything and praising them because some young little nerd boy who wants to put his comic book out there thought that he was gonna make it somewhere with some guy who ate his mind.
Yeah,
it goes. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. That's what they do. They have the little hustle with making these fake little teams and getting these little, videos going, and then they cut it off. Yeah. What the hell? That's a waste, man. Stop it. You know.
I mean, like a lot of my comics, like it's like start and stop. It's been like start and stop, and I'm like, I spend like all day long, 7 days a week because I work for myself. I don't have work to do because of my body's messed up. So I have to whatever hours I can put in. Like usually it's about 3 hours or 4 hours. My brain then shuts down, like totally shuts down. Like yesterday, like I said, like I slept all day yesterday because my brain just shut down. Because of the day before, I just couldn't sleep, and so because of that, I've just worked around the clock whenever I'm able to. But a lot of projects I've done has been like start and stop, and I hate that. Like I'm a person. If I say I'm going to do something, I'll go out of my way to make sure I do it. Right. Even if it at my own cost, because I want things to work. But like the worst thing for any project is to have somebody go, "Yeah, I'm not happy with that now, and I'm going to leave." It's like, okay, so how do we work together to make it work?
Right. What do you think? Put your part in. Let's see what's going down. If everybody can agree, that means it makes sense for everyone. If it doesn't make don't cry about it. Well, I guess go back to the drawing board. Let's make it work. Not try to find out who's gonna have the better idea, who's gonna have the whatever praise. It's all about praise. But it happens. The thing is that there is people who have the vision. There's people who have the art. The thing is that they get taken advantage of. You know what I'm saying? Some people know how to do the walk, and then some people want to walk for you, and then some people don't want to walk for you. You know what I mean? If you see something that has potential and this person is willing to do it, you know what I mean? That's when you go, okay, I'm gonna put everything I got on this thing. You know what I mean? Let's go. This looks like it's gonna work. You know what I'm saying? But it's hard to find that. A lot of people are afraid because people don't want to fund something that they know they're not gonna make no money from. So they only fund things that it's already making money, that they know is gonna make money. So they're afraid of a new idea because they don't know if it's gonna catch on or not. But that's the trick. The trick is to have some sort of funding where you can get people to know it and understand it and see its potential before they end up saying, okay, I'm going to throw money at this, but I have nothing to back it up saying, oh yeah, I got a good 1,000 people who think this is awesome, and this 1,000 people is going to spread the word, and there's going to be 2,000, maybe 3,000. You know what I mean? And it'll start building its repertoire. But nobody wants to do that. They want you to do this all yourself. So this is all the walking stuff you got to do on your own. You know what I mean? That's the thing. You know what I mean? But nobody wants to do that. They wants it the easy way. They want you to AI me a way to get $1 billion in comic books. Your phone pops.
So I was thinking about this morning, right? Like earlier on, and I was thinking like zero-sum game came to my head. It's like comics isn't a multi-billion-dollar like for any individual, unless you have everything else working out. Is a project where you're going to make a lot of money in. It's art. Art doesn't. It takes ages for art to catch on to people. Like everybody's like Invincible, Walking Dead. It took 10 years before Walking Dead got picked up as a TV series. When it came out, nobody gave a shit about Walking Dead. Right. It took about up to issue 6 before Walking Dead actually found out what Walking Dead was about. Right. You know, it was going to be all this other stuff. And then, so for me, I'm like thinking like, if you're on a project, do the project, let it gestate and allow for it to work. Right. I'm actually working with a person recently, who's it's the first time I'm actually working on somebody else's work. Right. And I mean that in the sense of like helping somebody else resuss out what they want with the project to be about. And so I'm helping another writer with their work, right? And saying, okay, this is what I'm going to give you, my advice to you, and what we're going to say, and it's up to you to take it on board and do what you think is going to work. Rewrite and, figure out what is your thing here, right? What's your aim of your project? What are you trying to say to the world with your story? Because all we're doing with the story is we're just trying to say to the world, this is what I have. I have a story idea for you to be entertained by. What is the story worthwhile to be entertained by? What is interesting about the story? What are the characters that's going to make people emotionally tied to your story? Are you trying to lecture your reader, right? Like Doctor Who is doing right now, trying to lecture everybody about what they should be doing with how they see the world, right? Or even like Disney's doing the same thing. So are you trying to be Disney and Doctor Who, or are you trying to be 1980s Marvel, where they just put a good story out and allow you to make up your own mind about that, right? What are you trying to say with your comic book? Or with your story? And so I said, I'm not going to write your book for you, but I could, if I wanted to, I could rewrite that story the way I wanted to and tell my way. But no, you go away and you write it the way you want, and then come back to me and we'll go over that again. And I haven't done this before. I haven't done this in probably about 15 years, right? Because the last time I did that was a movie script for a sports, for a guy who had an idea about sports movie. And I totally wrote the entire movie script and gave it over to him. Never, and it just all fell apart because it was like, it's not what I want. It was like, I spent 3 weeks working on this and my every spare time to give you the script, 90-page movie script. And then you're like, it's not what I want. It's like, and I don't get paid for it.
Oh, wow.
Right. And you'll see this a lot of times in comics. You'll see this in movies. People don't realize the work you put in. Like, and I've had movies made off my scripts, 2 of them, right? And so I'm very defensive about what I create now, and everything that I do has got like a TM behind it, a trademark behind it, because I want to protect myself against the entire world when it comes to creativity. However, I work with some very talented people who are very skilled, and I also want to promote them, right? Because they have to make a living as well. Because I know what it was like when I got ripped off, right? So I'm working 7 days a week, 24/7, whatever time I'm awake, to promote other people and all my artists, to show you people, not you people, I mean everybody in the world, to see what great talent they have, because I know those people have to make money, they have to live, and I want them to have other options outside of Robot Nation, outside of the manga comic what I'm doing, the horror comic I'm doing. Anytime outside of what they're working for me, I want them to be able to earn a living outside of that. If this project's over, hopefully they'll get the next project where they get paid lots more, right? Because I think people don't realize how important it is to be able to get the promotion for the next work. Not the work you're on now, as much as it is, but the next work, right? When's your next money coming in? When's your next body of work going to be there? Because you want to be able to go from one work to the next work right after the other, because you don't want any stopgap, right? You don't want to be like, you don't want to have 3 months of nothing. You can't, you really don't want that,
Nope. I'm trying to share my Clip Studio. If I can do a quick sketch here.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. I think I put share screen. And
I've got you on there. You're on. Just draw.
Oh, I could?
Yeah, you go for it. I'm watching it right now.
It's not giving me the...
Oh, don't worry about it. You're on my screen. So do whatever you got to do with your, your pen. And I'll also be able to say, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, but I think since I started it, it's not working.
Is it not like, draw something on your thing, like use your pen tool.
It's not.
Let's see what happens.
I have to get off of mine because I tried.
Is it lagging on your end?
It's not working at all. Move from sleep. Stop screen. All right.
Yeah, I think I think a lot of people don't understand that, like, you always got to be promoting, and you always got to have a product out, and you always got to make sure that you're ready. As soon as you finish one project, you got the next one going out, because it's not like showing up to a 9 to 5 job. Like, I've done 9 to 5 jobs for about 20 odd years of my life. I just show up, I clock in, I work my ass off, and I go home. Right? Art isn't like that. Art is basically like, okay, when's your next commission coming in? I got to be out here going, okay, what's the next lot? So with me as a writer, I've got books upon books and books and scripts there. And so as soon as, some artist comes to, Rising Sun, goes, hey, I'd like to work, I get offered an artist, right? It's not often I go out of my way to look for an artist, because I'm just writing all the time. And I think it's kind of a lot of people that are coming to, especially small publishers, they don't understand the work they got to put in. They think it's just they get paid this much money, and then they can do that much work and they'll be sorted. If you're working on a book and you're not promoting that book means that book isn't going to make money, which means you're not going to make money, right? And the other thing is, people aren't going to see that book, which means they don't see your work. So it's best for you to, like, promote that work, right, that you just worked on or are working on, because then people will see that book, and then they'll support it, and then they'll see your work, and then they'll share your work, then they'll show people that work, and then other people will want it, and so the circle goes on. But I find like the worst thing that anybody working on a comic book can do is not promote it.
Well, yeah, of course. If you're not pushing it, it's not going to go nowhere. You gotta start that ball rolling, you know what I mean? Stick it on something that actually gets noticed. Find people out there who are into it, you know what I'm saying? Get known in the community of comic books, because if you don't, you're just gonna be a regular little dude who just draws nice pictures, and you get your friends who likes it in your art.
I got sent, because people are watching this, and this channel and videos and stuff, and they see me talking about comics. I get emails of people who don't even send me any artwork or sequential pages. Hey, I want to work with you. I saw you pay, I see you do comics, and like, I want to work with you. I don't actually deal with contracts or anything. I just pass it on to Rising Sun Comics. But I'm like, you don't even show me your work. You don't show me your freaking pencils.
Yo, you high-end?
Yeah. Next thing you know, it's like AI artwork, or from somebody else's work. Yeah. Oh, this is. Oh wow, this is great work. So, is this yours? You don't know. It could be like freaking Frank Miller's work, and I would know if it's Frank Miller's, but it could be another person's work who looks similar to somebody, Jim Lee's, and next thing you know, it's Jim Lee's work, and people have done that before, right?
Oh, shit. Yeah, man, and they serve you the papers. You are being sued, and like that.
Yeah.
I thought this was a game. This is no
Yeah,
game.
but I love this cover, man, from your for this one that we're gonna put out. This is so cool for the Portuguese.
Hold on, I can't see the screen. Hold on a minute. Let me. Where am I? Oh yeah.
Oh, are you drawing?
Yeah.
Right.
You think you can share the page or not?
Yes, share it with me. You're not sharing with me at the moment.
Oh really? I gotta figure out how to do that. That's
present. Tap present on your thing.
Yeah. And then it says screen sharing. Easiest.
Yeah, just what you did before. I had it, and then like I took it off because you were doing drawing, so I thought I'll leave that until you're finished.
Yeah. How about now? Is this it? Like it. Yeah, Deep Studio. Shit.
Here we go.
Oh gosh, what are they doing now?
You're on your what is the homepage?
Oh, there you go. How about now?
No, you need to change your screen because I know which page you're on, but you're on the software, but not on your actual Clip Studio Paint one. So share your Clip Studio Paint one.
Okay, I see. I gotta go back out there then.
Yeah, I'll get that out there.
Go to present again.
No, I've got you. Just change yours. Present right screen. Because that was the homepage for like the store, wasn't it?
Yeah, it changed up on its own. I'm like, what did it do?
Yeah.
That? It's doing that again. That doesn't make any sense. What?
I was gonna. All right. Oh, that's the wrong one.
Oh, that's so weird. I see what they want to do. I see how it works.
You figured it out?
Yeah, the thing is that I have to make sure that I have that screen on there.
Yes. Yeah, you got to have all the screens on and you got to decide which ones you got to choose from. I've had to go through it a couple of times myself.
That's dumb. They should just be able to screen and
that you don't, you're on the right thing and not like bouncing around all the other things at the same time.
Finally, I find it. Yes, I'm genius.
Hey,
guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let me see that in a bigger way. Hold on, let me get rid of that screen. There we go. Awesome. So, what is this for? Something else or
no? Just sketching. Doing at the moment, trying to make something up and something pertaining to Robot Nation style of robots and villains. So I'll create as I see in my head. I like to draw what comes to me.
Yeah, I'm like that with like logos, right? Like I was watching, and not only logos, but like yesterday I was watching. Was it yesterday or the day before? No, it was the day before, I should say, like 7 o'clock yesterday morning before the meeting. I had a 5-hour meeting yesterday. So I was watching a movie, and I'm not sure if it was a horror movie or what. And then I thought, that's a great idea for a backstory for Howler, for one of the characters, the great man, right? So I had to work in my head how many friggin' generations she was going back, And it was like, oh, let's do 50 years. So every 50 years a new generation. And so I was going to write about 2 paragraphs and go to bed. Ended up being 2 pages for 2 comic books. And I'm like, shit. And I kept writing because I couldn't. It's like, it's got to work out completely. Otherwise, I'll forget. And so I understand what you're doing here. It's like, I've got this in my head, right? So if I draw it out, I won't forget it, you know, what I'm trying to do. So, yeah.
I write through pictures like a caveman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how it was. I was like, all right, we ain't got time to be writing a novel here. This is what I want to say. Okay, got you.
All right, let's do this. I got a title for you for this. I might clip this later, so have a look. So, what are you thinking with this? Where you think about going with this?
Some sort of scorpion female robot menacer of sort. Yeah, I like doing robot stuff.
Yeah.
Transformers is a thing, but you know, nobody wants to draw these characters that are a specific, you know, like a mech warrior of some sort. Those mechs are difficult. Having to read over and over, oh man, it's ridiculous.
When I was at film school, I had a friend who was a Cook Islander, and he could do Transformers easy. Like,
yes, me too. It could have been the same kid. I don't know, but hey.
This, yeah, I can't even remember his name, but I remember he, like, after like first year or second year he quit. But I had one piece done with him, and I had my felts with me, and I colored it in, and I was like, oh man. And he looked at me like I didn't do it right, and I was like, oh.
So
I was just playing around. I was like, dude, like, he's just sitting there in class with me while we're listening to this, you know, personal, interpersonal relationships speech, whatever class. And so I said, oh, and my wife is sitting there, and he's sitting there, and I go, draw me a Transformers, bud. And he does it, and I think I've got it somewhere because I always kind of like hold on to stuff like that.
Yo, this kid would do it a notebook with a pen.
Yeah. And then he does that, and I go and do a felt coloring of it, and he thinks like I've ruined it or something. So this is a friend of ours, a Chilean, you know, guy who he was over here one night, and we were having a few beers, and he drew this, and I said, "Can I keep it?" He goes, "Yeah," and so I framed it, right? Nice. And he's a street artist. So Chile won. He's from Chile, but he's got a lot. He got great support here in our community, and he was able to do, you know, even me. I got him to do a Rodrigo Ruiz. I got him to do a Wolverine on my store a while back. So while you're doing that, I'm just going to pop his work on and I'll show you who this guy is. So, and I'll keep that there, and we'll see you. Like, so this is Rodrigo here. Doing like murals all across New Zealand. This is Tui Bird. We have a guest, and the guest is Russ. Welcome, Russ. Oh, it's a bit slow there. So Rodrigo, yeah. So I had him do our a painting of Wolverine, and you know, I think it cost me around about $200 to do for the comic store. It was big. It was really big, dude. Yeah, it was really big. Like, check out some of his work here. Look at that. So he does it for private people, you know, for oh, that is beautiful. Look at that.
There it goes.
Can you hear me?
That's huge. That's probably like about what, like 10 meters? Yeah, it looks like 10 meters. Yeah, about 10 meters. That's brilliant. Another bird one. Look at that.
Yeah.
Ponamu, greenstone.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you having trouble getting on, Ross? Oh no, you're there. Yeah, there's a bit of delay on with you. Do you want to pop out and pop back in? Yeah, it's lagging really bad. Sorry, dude. So look at that finish. Looks so cool. So he's an airbrush artist. So spray cans. He uses spray cans and stuff.
Yeah, that's how I started.
Yeah. Look at that.
That's
pretty big. That's about maybe 1, 2, 3, 5 meters. 5 meters by 2.5, I think it is here. Yeah.
Wait, what is that? Like what, 10 feet?
Wall. Looks like a wall, yeah. Concrete wall or something. 5 meters by 10.
Right,
So I'm not sure how many inches it is.
Looks like a room.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. I want to stop. Love it.
Little bird.
Man, the wetness in the eyes. That's the trick.
Yeah. Moa. Look at that. That's huge.
Yeah.
That's a bird that got eaten out of existence in New Zealand.
Yeah, it's like a big giant the drumstick chicken.
Yeah. Not chicken, ostrich. So yeah, chicken meat. Yeah. Yeah.
Nice. There's a guy right now.
Public restrooms.
Make it look nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some people do that for free, or they get kids to help.
Yeah. Look at that. School. One of the classrooms by the looks of it.
Wow. It's fun. It's joy. It's a joy to come there. The happy colors.
Yeah. Native birds. You can see the difference, like what it looks like after you
That's a trailer?
No, it's a building.
Oh, because I saw the bottom.
Like might be an office block.
Oh, but look at the bottom. You see the bottom?
Yeah. That's like metal.
A platform, like a broad walk on top of one of them built it yourself type houses. They must have dropped it.
No. It's a complete concrete thing. It just looks that way because of the things here, but that's actually concrete. So it might be like a public office or restroom sort of small thing.
Classic.
Look at that.
Yeah. Love it. It looks beautiful. You want to go there and eat a burger.
Yeah, Burger and Beast is the name of the business. So yeah.
That's nice.
Beast hunting.
That's funny.
Some cute little things.
Yeah.
Why look at that cherry. That's pretty cool.
That's fun.
All right, let me pop out of there, and hopefully we've got. Oh no, we've lost Ross altogether. Yeah, sorry, dude. Bummer. But yeah, so this is Chile one, street artists, airbrush artists, and stuff. So let's go back and have a look at how far you've gotten with the Scorpion robot.
Well, I stopped a little bit.
Mm. Yeah, because you're watching the murals.
Yeah.
Well, while you're doing that, I am going to, let me see if, I don't think I could, like, I don't, like, because I'm not using StreamYard, you can't have music on the background, but I was going to, like, do some work, but while you're doing that. So, because you did some color, like, we got some couple color pages came in this week from you, so I'm going to go and add them to the actual page. So, you know, we'll share that while we're in between the two of us, you drawing and myself bring in pages, colored pages into the its proper place. So let me bring this in. So import from Edwin 2023. There we go. So yeah, pop out of there, pop back over here. While you do that, so here we are. So grabbing the page that I'm supposed to be grab. I think this is the right one. Yeah, please be that one. Yep, there's that one. So this is the ink page, and now adding in Edwin's colors to it. So pop back over to there. There we go. Perfectly sized, so I don't have to worry about resizing. And now all the English text shows up.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
Yeah.
That looks beautiful. You can zoom in just a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just trying to make sure I had to get the thing. So there's a trend and get rid of that. So there. All the letters were there, and I'll probably break this up a bit just to make sure, you know, utilize it properly. But
it looks so cool. Those colors just pop.
Yeah, because you know the white balance, you know, like over the colors just makes the colors pop out so much more.
Yeah, I like it.
So move across to there, put it there, so it's actually in the thing. Break that, actually put that as a lock that up, and then go back to this. And
we use the same
different text. Yeah, so for the narration, it's always a different text, but like I think for this one, I use another different text. Let me just find which text. Yeah, CC Crazy, Comment Crazy is the one I've used there for that one. So pop it across there, bring that down. Writing, lettering, designing, setting it all up, and let me see.
Page, right?
What's that, sorry?
Did you get
I got the other one. I'm going to do the same to the other one, bring that up as well.
So they're in the colony, when they land in the colony of Venus?
Yeah. The face, what's it like? The face, yeah, I'll do that one next so you can see what that looks like. Cool. So once I have this all organized, I'm now going to send the script, the English script, to both Tomas and Louise to translate into Portuguese and Spanish. That's the craziest thing about this, is deciding to do that and then ending up having to do 3 times the work that it takes to do a normal comic book on this comic. I don't know why I did it to myself, man. But
hey, you never. Well, there's a reason for everything. You might have more viewers somewhere else.
Yeah. You know, maybe get an overseas support that wasn't, you know, might not have been there if we didn't do the Portuguese and Spanish, right?
Yeah, because have you seen any Portuguese comics?
No. Like, I mean, I haven't seen any English, you know, Kickstarters or anything like that's been done into Portuguese or Spanish, right? So I want to do something.
You can use that as your niche as well. You can be like,
I
yeah,
guess,
first ever.
yeah, New Zealand. Well, I mean, like things just had his French, right? Translated French to his Dharma punks, but like the
First ever Portuguese comic books coming back finally.
well, are they Portuguese? You know, I'm sure
That's
they are, right?
That's what I'm asking you. You're gonna have to do that research right quick and find
Yeah,
out if
I'll ask Luis because he's the one who's translating our Portuguese, you know, into Portuguese.
they,
So I'll see what he says.
if they do, find out what's popular and we could just invade.
Yeah.
They'll be like, oh no, they're gonna take our only sorts of comic booking. Because
Well,
I don't hear anything from Portuguese comic books. Have you? Have they made a stir anywhere?
I don't know. You know, I mean, like maybe, but I mean, the thing with this is that for me, with you know, with all the stuff that we do, we are going to do that because we have the, you know, we have the guys, you know, our artists who are Portuguese and you know who speak or you know can translate into Portuguese, and it's another way of like you know saying, hey, getting your name out there, right?
Yeah.
Because it just allows like not only are they artists, but they can translate your book as well, right?
Yeah, and maybe they don't have comics with Spanish speaking or Portuguese. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they don't, and there's kids who just might, you know, like it. They learn how to read, you know, early comic book style. Yeah.
This is why I like, you know, Clip Studio Paint. Look at how easy that was. You know, just doing that. So now you get to see a bit of the background. You know, bummer, like because like I've got this huge text here, like, but like the fact you miss out on some of the stuff. But I mean, I'm trying to get as much as I can in there. But one of the
notice the classic
ways of like one of the messing ways you can mess around with that is do something like this, right?
Yeah.
And that way you get to see it as well. But it's kind of one of those things where you go, well, is it worth it? And then you go, wait, did I just click back? I did click back into that. I don't want to click back into that.
Yeah, I like that too. When you lighten them up and you can still see the artwork behind it.
Yeah,
that's kind of cool. But that's
so
if you get
this, right. So
white,
there.
you can make it white.
But the thing is it visible enough for you as a reader, right?
Well, it is. I can read it. Maybe try using white lettering.
Yeah. Okay, let's try that. No, white doesn't work. So red doesn't work either. What if I go black and then I give it outline? Like that. How's that work for you?
Nah. It depends on if it's going to be done throughout the whole book and get people to understand that those are the narrations and these are the word bubbles.
What if you do that?
Oh, that'll be too difficult. Yeah, keep it black.
What do you mean? I'll keep it. What
keep
you
it,
with?
Yeah, I think you should just keep it normal with the white back,
and not like this.
Only if it's special. If it's like really special, like something artificial is saying something.
Yeah, yeah. No, you're right. Just might as well just leave it like this. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, there's so much decisions to make this, you know, work a certain way, and I think, you know, you can always try to go ultra special and go the extra thing, but look, in too many decisions, you can overthink it as well, right?
You don't want an overkill, also.
Yeah, you really don't want to overkill, and you don't want to overthink the thing.
Yeah.
So
And you mean, oh no, but that's one thing about that. You have a good amount of redos. You know, it's not just permanent. Oh, I went back too much.
yeah, yeah. So
Mhm.
there we go. We're gonna leave it like that. But at least I've like lessened the, you know, the size of it from what it was before, because it was big blocking all that up. Now it's, you get to see a bit more of what's there.
All right.
Maybe even that, but it's just kind of, you know, it's such a cool little piece of art, but sometimes there's no way around it, you know. And that's a hard thing about being a writer, is like you're trying to go, okay, is this where I should be doing with this, you know, as a not a writer, as a letterer, I guess as a writer as well, because like, do I need this stuff here, or if I don't? See, like if this was like a longer story, I'd probably spread it way more bubbles and stuff, and more, not bubbles, more panels, right? But with this one, I was just like, you know, we just do a one shot and let it go and do its thing. But I love this work. I think this comic's going to be so cool. You know, I mean, when people see it, like everything's, you know, done and everything's where it should be, and all the colors it in.
Yeah, man, you visualize your project, you're gonna see it made. You know what I mean? The way you see it in your head, you're gonna manifest it.
So the next one we had was the visor, right, artwork, and then I'm going to go back. Actually, before I do that, let's go have a look at where you've gotten with your work. Do you want to zoom out a bit? There we go. I actually zoom in a bit so you can see the full. Yeah, there you go. Sweet.
Yeah.
So there is a backup story that is a bit more mature, right, than the story for the next issue. So if you're interested, I could send you the script for that if you want to let it, you know, draw that for Robot Nation #2.
Nice.
Which is Fang and Fur. So let me see where that is. So the script for that. What was the backup story I wrote for that? #2. I think. Where's the script? Because Fang and Fur is friggin' like pretty cool. I like the story in Fang and Fur as well. It's got this really sweet mother story, right? Because each story's got like their own character, and so the mother story for Fang and Fur is really cool. What was like the backup story to that though? What was it called? So this is the Fang and Fur like initial, like just character art for the two leads. Well, the lead. So this is by Francisco again. There's Ruth, and then there is Fang. Like look at how far he went into like designing the dog, man. You know,
Nice.
it's, you know, it's like so cool. And then you got the robot dog.
Yeah, he got the bouncy legs in the front.
Yeah.
Run. Wow,
Yeah.
he'd be down.
Yeah. Then you got Ruth and her look and everything.
In her exo armor.
Yeah. It's awesome. What else is here? Oh yeah, there's like the like images for the character and like sort of like them working out like what the body would look like. The lead characters, the daughter, the dad,
Yeah,
what other characters. Just
the simple guy.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, so cool. So back to you. Now, oh, let me. So the next page is them actually, and is that one? No, it's this one. Okay, so this is the next page for the art, the colors that have been done. So let's import the next page in. And this is for the colony as well as her visor import. There we go. Look at that. You can see the, like just a pop from the black and white to the color. Then you got the lettering, jumps up. That one there. Let me see. I think I want to move that a bit. Oh, is that locked? No, you're not locked. So yeah, here we go. So move that around a bit. Oops, should lock that. Here we go. So yeah. Yo, welcome, Zoomin. Thank you, Beatrix. So you got that. Move this away to a bit. Maybe not too much. If I go move that, maybe the settlers. See, typo should get brought. That's why I always like keep going over stuff, because like sometimes I'm like, because of my head injuries, I miss words and I don't see it. And yeah, I always get told off, and like, especially when I do Facebook, I don't see stuff, man. Like, it's like I miss entire words.
Like, what are you saying?
Like, because I've got head injuries, right? Because concussions and stuff, I don't see words sometimes there. I think I've already written it, but I haven't written it, and so I get in trouble for like missing out words. So I have to go back later and change them. So I'm always editing my posts.
And then Facebook be ratting you out.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not too much, but yeah, I'm probably going to get in trouble one day for that, like actually missing out words.
Yeah. Oh yeah, this page has been edited 15 times, and it's just sentences.
I got one of my friends goes, "Oh, dude, you need to like check what you're writing because you keep missing out shit." I go, "What do you mean? I saw it. I wrote it. It's there." It's like, I look back and it's like entire word isn't there. What? But I checked. It's like my brain just couldn't see it. Like freaking concussions, man. That's cool. Love the popping on that. Let's move that across a bit. There we go. Just slightly to make it center more. Yeah, so far we've got maybe 8 pages done, eh? Yeah, about 8 pages we've done. Was it 6? Colors.
Yeah. Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, here it is, the beauty in its entirety, the 44 pages of comic books. Look at that. So you get to get a double-page center page poster, and we're going to put in some more. This is the English version, yeah. So there's like a color pin up here and a color pin up here, and you get a couple promos. So you get 2, 4, 6 pages, and then still got to finalize what we're going to do with with the pinups and stuff. But yeah, 44 glorious pages of comic book sci-fi story. The first issue of Robot Nation. Okay, let me pop out of there and let's see where you're at with that.
I'm on Robot.
All right, I'll leave that off. All right, it's been 2.5 hours, so let's see the final version that you've got, and then we'll finish off, and then we'll, I'll let you finish, send it back to us when you're ready. Show me. Share it on Facebook. So, guys, go follow. Do you want me to share your Facebook page, Edwin?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so now, do you have an art page, or is it just the Artex one?
Yeah, just the Artex one. The other ones are still in development because we have stopped the project. So there's like maybe 2 pages I haven't completed. But besides that,
right.
It's just a page. I put everything on there, from everything I do, from tattoos, masks, and my comic book artwork. The covers.
You need to go put on your profile here. You need to go actually put a name in there instead of numbers, man. So it's easy for people to find. Yeah, I'll show you how to do it off screen later.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I'll send you. I'll show you. Send you. Yeah.
Did you get this page? Look at my screen.
I do now. Wow, look at that. Venus, and it's all his sun glory.
All right.
Look at that. No, I haven't got this one yet.
Really? I sent that one a while ago. I'm surprised it didn't go through.
No, I haven't got that. I have to wait for you to send it through. But look at that. That looks so good. It's awesome. Excellent. All right, so go check out and also Manuel. I might as well put Manuel art of Manuel Soto. So you can check out Manuel's there as well. And he's got to change his name to from numbers to, and I should put in there Manuel Soto. And yeah, let's remove the other one. And that one, and then bring you on again, and then we'll finish off. Okay, so the Artex. Right, so there is Manuel Soto's art page, and then this is Artex. So you guys, if you're interested, go check it out, and maybe send some work his way. But for me, and it is now 3:30. So thank you for joining us. You got anything to say, Edwin, before we finish?
No, we're good. We had a great time today, and we got some things out, and explained a few things for people to get involved in Robot Nation. Hopefully this will get off the ground.
Yeah, man, go check out our page. Let me just bring that up so you guys can join it, because you know, you'll get all the news once we launch and everything. And at the moment, it looks like it's going to be June, early June. So Robot Nation is going to be on this page, and with all our glorious art and amazing, you know, story. I reckon it's amazing, but also, you know, great cover art translated into 3 languages: English, Portuguese, and Spanish. And maybe someday it'll be in, you know, Korean, Japanese, and Chinese, Mandarin, Cantonese, maybe Hindi. Who knows? Life is this funny way of working itself out. So wherever you are, thank you for hanging out. Thank you, Ross. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, I understand, man. Like sometimes it just doesn't work. But thank you for watching, Ross. Appreciate it. And everybody else, wherever you are, be well, be safe. And you know, if you got a loved one close by, give them a hug and a kiss. Let them know that you care. People need that sometimes. I know men need to know, you know, be told that, you know, they're doing good, that they are appreciated. And if you got a male, you know, let them know, man. Especially ladies, you know, you don't understand. You guys have your own little thing going on with all your girlfriends. Guys are different. Sometimes they just need a bit of like, appreciate it, mate. Appreciate what you're doing. So if you're not able to do that, if you don't have a close one close by, use social media, use phone. You know, we are so connected now that there's no excuse not to be saying hello. I do that by just sharing art, letting people know I'm out here, putting a smile on your face with music, with videos, with clips, whatever I can do, you know. But hey, check out all the great artwork out there. Also, I just remembered and I just forgot. Do check out Plunge NZ on Facebook, because that's our you know, our Plunge Studios, I should say. That's our Facebook page for all our good stuff. So this is it here. And with that, I shall bid you all adieu. And we'll see you in the next one, whenever that is. All right. Cut it down, everybody. Have a good week. Have a good month. Good, you know, good day, wherever you are. Thank you, Artex, for hanging out. Thanks, Edwin. I really appreciate it. And just before we finish, look at that. Colors are starting. Do check out his page, and you'll be able to see the finished product, I'm sure. So where was it? It was there. There it is. Go check that out, and you'll be able to see the final finished piece. But I got to go get, you know, have some food.
Yeah.
And see you, everybody. Bye for now.
Later on.